Hello and welcome to LSJ News. Fears of another coronavirus spike are circling around the country. The last week saw non-essential shops, hairdressers and pubs with a beer garden reopening for the first time this year. But are people overdoing it? Here with more is reporter James Turner. And James, why are people getting worried about another spike so early just after this lockdown easing?
Thanks, Chris. So like you said, this week has seen the reopening of non-essential shops and beer gardens, but it's also seen the first night out of the year for many. I think it's safe to say after the last year many people have taken it a little bit too far. Obviously, in the pictures from London Soho and in Lincoln High Street as well, which I saw firsthand, there was massive crowds. With these massive crowds comes a lot of complacency in the COVID regulations. For example, table jumping has become a very big issue inside the beer gardens, which then defeats the whole objective of this rule of six panned down by the government. This has stirred a small worry from the general public, thinking that with this complacency comes another spike in coronavirus cases. But is all of this happening because it's happening outside? That's the worry. I spoke to Lewis Parry, who runs a Curious Cat Bar in Grimsby, who actually didn't open the bar because of this worry.
I think inside, once you go into a building, you kind of subconsciously start to obey the rules and the way people perceive, and you react to your peers and that kind of thing. Whereas outside for the past, as long as I know, I've been in this industry for 18 years. Outside has always just been free ball. You do what you like.
And James, shall we expect to see a surge in cases and possibly deaths from COVID because of this potential complacency?
So the government have said from the start of this roadmap out of lockdown that as we see things reopen slightly, we can expect to see cases surge slightly, ever so slightly, over each little bit. The idea behind it all is that the vaccine rate will then even these figures out, keeping the mortality rate quite low. Luckily in Lincolnshire right now, we are in a very good position in coronavirus cases. I spoke to Andy Fox from Public Health Lincolnshire, who said cases here have fallen drastically very recently.
In fact, now we are around the national average position, just 26 or so cases per 100,000 over 7 days, which is the same really as the national position, with some areas of Lincolnshire higher and some lower.
And what about the news we're hearing about the new Indian variant and the surges we're seeing in European countries right now?
So in terms of this Indian variant, in my chat with Andy Fox again from Public Health Lincolnshire, he did actually say we are yet to find a variant that is not covered by these vaccines. So as long as we keep the vaccine momentum going up in this country, we should see case figures steady. India, however, has just been added to the UK red list for travel. So foreign travel between the two countries may be off the cards for a little while. What we have to remember, though, is that these are just worries. This week in particular, I've seen the lowest cases since last September of last year. I think this is mainly due to the lockdown, and it's also due to the vaccine rollout as well, which has now seen over 10 million people in the UK as a whole fully vaccinated now.
Thanks very much. That's our reporter, James Turner there.